development, Dr. Dele Alake in Abuja at the weekend. Okay, that's something. Now, the health minister of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Fad Al-Jalajil, has disclosed 1,300 pilgrims died during the 2024 Hajj. While speaking on state television, Jalajal said 83% of the deceased made the pilgrimage without the necessary permits. I know what's on your mind, don't say it. All right, but let's move away from that one and give you this one. The Miyetti Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria man has rejected a bill that seeks to establish a national agency for the regulation and management of ranches in Nigeria. Well, Alhaji Baba Usman Gazama, Magban president, announced his opposition to the bill at the weekend. Discovered a snake-guarded shrine used to store illicit drugs at the Igor community, Benin City, the Edo state capital. At first, I thought we were going to be talking about a snake that's swallowing money again. Well, thank God it's a different story this time. But Mr. Femi Babafemi, the spokesman of the agency on Sunday, in a statement noted that the operatives detected a specially constructed large hole storage in a wall covered with wallpapers and fetish objects. Oh, I don't know, the shrines also have wallpapers now. But anyways, an early morning fire on Sunday razed the headquarters of the Christ Embassy Church located at the Oregon area of Ikeja, Lagos State. While the police, Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service, other emergency responders, and the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, LATSMA, were able to put out the fire. Joint effort. Yay! I like it. And finally now, the organized labor has warned some governors not to plunge the country into a state of resentment, misery, and impoverishment through wrong advice to President Bola Tinubu. It also reiterated that the position taken by President Tinubu on the two proposals before him from the final report of the Tripartite Committee on the National Minimum Wage would determine its next line of action. Okay, well, that's just what it is. Now let's jump into the front pages of Nigerian newspapers. By the way, know that we have a strong presence across social media platforms, talking about Facebook, Instagram, YouTalk, get on to X, and of course, you would discover that we are there and strong, right? But if you want to have an audiovisual sensation, an audiovisual talking about the online television that we bring to your audiovisual consciousness, then you might as well want to give us a follow on the X handle at Eagles FM. Do the same with our YouTube channel, and that would be at Eagles FM Abuja. Subscribe and get onto the Facebook page wall. Give us a like, give us a following, and you would be glad you did at Eagles FM Abuja. All right, so a couple of dailies right there. Let's jump into it. Oops, This Day made it to the fora. Now I'm seeing This Day newspaper, the big story just above the This Day newspaper banner. Dangote Refinery IOCs plotting our failure by declining to sell local crude despite paying premium. You heard that, right? Well, this story began on the front page of the This Day newspaper, and it's continued on page 4 of This Day newspaper. But just before we are done with that story, it's got two writers to it. And the first writer says, calls on federal government, National Assembly to protect Nigeria's interest. And the last writer to that one decries granting of import licenses by NMDPRA despite ban on dirty fuels. You see that. And this one, of course, is going to be the last one that I'll be taking with the This Day newspaper. Apparently, the This Day newspaper have got other, doings on the front page. But let's just bring this last one to you. Alake presents gold bars to Tinubu, saying mining sector will boost Naira value. All right, page 8 has got that story. Moving away from This Day now, there's a guard. They call it a Vanguard. I think that's why. Now, I see this one, Art Icons reminisce about good old Nigeria. What happened to the good new Nigeria, present Nigeria? Come on, y'all. Anyways, though, that is what is on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. Page 13 has got, gonna go see what their 2 cents all about. Okay, go. And I'm seeing this one now on page 12. Dangote accuses IOCs of plotting failure of its refinery. Recall that some time ago, in the recent past, I'm talking about last week, yes, if I'm not mistaken, Dangote came out and said, if I knew what I knew now, then I probably wouldn't have, yes, he said that. Yeah, because of course he sees a lot of bottlenecks. He is the same one who had said that there are cabals, within the oil sector right there. Well, it's left for the president to look into this one as calls have been made to the federal government. Let's see how much of the people of Nigeria the federal government has got at heart, in addressing these issues, right? And let's take it to page 6 now. Nigerian pilgrims starving in Saudi Arabia. Starving? No! We are rich people. Come on, excuse me. Whoever has got to do something has got to do something really fast right there so our brothers and sisters can return home. Well, Governor Bago has got that one to say now. I'm seeing this one. Worshippers recount ordeal as fire guts Christ Embassy headquarters. That story? Not a very nice one, I tell you. Page 6, you'd find that story now. Page 9, civil servants collecting salaries after relocating abroad must refund money. Federal government says that. And you'd find it on page 9. Still on page 9, looking popular. Seems like page 9 and page 6 are having a competition on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper at this point. Labor to governors on minimum wage. Rescue Nigeria from state of resentment misery. Okay, now just to the base, you would find this one right here. And Okay, it's on sports actually. It says Rangers crowned NPFL champions. Oh, it's got one right into it. Hold on now to whole trophy presentation today. Okay, so page 37 has got that for the sport lovers. And finally, the big story. Textile industry faces total collapse as revival efforts fail. Okay, I thought that there was some monies by some international, country who have said that they were going to invest. Was it an international country or the World Bank now? Oh, I can't place it, but I know that there was something about that. Why is it failing? Well, it's got a couple of riders to it, though. Sector's GDP contribution in steady decline. Oh, and this one here says 96.5% of textile products in Nigerian markets imported. Are you serious? 96.5%? Well, it's got another rider to it. Markets flooded with fake fabrics from China. You see that? Enforce Executive Order 003. Labor tell government. Federal government unveils $3.5 billion revamp plan to create 20,000 jobs. Okay, away from the Vanguard newspaper right there. Well, federal government, if you saw that one coming through, we will give you atewo. I think that's what the Yoruba say when they say they're clapping for you, applauds and all of that. Applaudi say. But let's look at the Daily Trust newspaper now. The Daily Trust newspaper, big story. Herders reject Senate's bill on ranching. It's got two writers to it. It's ill-conceived. McBann has got that to say. Second writer, Livestock Ministry, best solution. Okay, so a counter argument right there. And you should find that story on page 4 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Just underneath the Daily Trust newspaper right there again, you'll see this one. Plateau bans churches, mosques from blocking roads. Really? Now you should find a story on page 6. I've got sharp eyes. Okay, I see this one now on page 17. And this one is, I beg your pardon, page 7 right now. Yeah, Tinubu orders sanction of workers taking salaries after relocating abroad. Yay! I like it. And now to the base of the Daily Trust newspaper now. Bandits kill 9, abduct 50 in Katsina. Page 6, it's got that story. And I've seen this one now. This one right here says, IOC's plotting our failure, Dangote Refinery. Page 7 has got that one looking popular, I tell you. And to page 19, NDLEA discovers snake-guarded shrine housing illicit drugs. Can you bid that? Snake guarded. Well, okay, you know what? I'll just move away. And this is how I'm going to be calling it a wrap with the Daily Trust newspaper, but not forgetting this particular one. 50 reps, writes Tinubu, seek Kanu's release. And you would find the story on page 5 of the Daily Trust newspaper. Away from the Daily Trust, the Guardian newspaper, it's got this big story. Well, quite a number of big stories right there. And they don't even look similar. All right, CBN stress tests. Forex Foreign exchange market reform stops BDC funding. Let me take that one again, though. CBN stress tests foreign exchange market reform stops BDC funding. Page 6, it's got that story. Now, I see this one. Well, it's got a couple of some punchlines to it. Apex Bank trades quick fixes for long-term confidence building. It's got another one. Guadabe, lack of clarity in new guidelines fueling fresh panic. And Naira on edge ahead of summer activities. Moody's, all right, government to spend 36% revenue on interest. And the last one to that one, the last punchline to that one, MPC commits to 21.4% long-term inflation targets. Okay, and now let's get on to this one. Page 4, cholera. APC chieftain warns governors against diversion of 260 billion naira PHC's funds. All right, and now to page 22. NIBSS announces, okay, they have a new CEO, right? Okay, I see that. And I see this one here now on page 9. Bandits kill ex-general, 7 others in FCT. Katsina. All right, page 5 now. Customs queries NAFDAC over unregistered drugs. Okay, that's some check and balance right there, if you ask me. Price of rice soars by over 180% in 12 months. Beans hits 219%. News page 5 has got that story. All right, see, Bago, Nakhon differ on poor handling of 2024 Hajj death of pilgrims. All right, news page 9 has got that story. Y'all better settle that thing now because the people died. Excuse you? Y'all don't play all this hide and seek banter. All right, I see this one now on page 16. The fuss over return to old national anthem. Okay, National Assembly under pressure on new minimum wage law compliance. All right, news page 6 has got that story, and I'm bringing this one to you, and it is on page 4. LP insists on Obi as 2027 presidential candidate. Okay, and this is going to be the last one that I'll be bringing to you with the Guardian newspaper. Just above the Guardian newspaper banner right there is a strange one because the Guardian newspaper never really has any headline above the the Guardian newspaper header. All right, but anyways, I see this one. It says Dangote accuses IOCs of manipulating crude oil prices, plotting refineries failure. All right, and you would find a story continued on page 5 because it actually started on the front page of the Guardian newspaper. Now the Nation newspaper. Okay, are you just tuning in for the first time? This is Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja, where we give you an audio visual radio experience that you can count on anytime, any day. We say this in strong authority because we have the bragging rights. Who gave it to us? You did. I tell you, the Nation newspaper right now, I'm seeing this big story. IOC's frustrating rollout of petrol, says Dangote refinery. It's got one writer to it. Firm accuses government agency of aiding indiscriminate importation. I see. Now, that story began on the front page of the Nation newspaper and it's continued on page 4 of the Nation newspaper as well. And you see this one, Alake, solid minerals boost foreign reserves by $5 million. Can you beat that? I like it. Yay! Dele Alake, well done, I tell you. Well, it's got one rider to it. Minister presents gold bar to president. Gold bar. Oh, okay. This is okay. This is principle. If you're doing good and you're presenting a gold bar to your principal, I think it's okay. Yeah, all right. Anyways, though, you tell me what you think about that one later. But let's see this one. Why are your government delayed approval of Olakunle's choice as 43rd Olubadan? All right, page 30 has got that one. Above the Nation newspaper banner now, Kano government serves Bayero eviction notice from Nasarawa Palace. Wow, this is now a drive you away from this place to the other place. I don't know though. Anyways, news page 5 has got that story. Governor raises dust over spending of 90 billion naira Hajj subsidy. Page 11 has got that story now to page 30. INEC retains placeholder as Akpata's running mate in Edo. Okay, and this final one that's coming on from page 6. It says why Abu Adi, I don't get it. ABUAD, okay, remain stop. All right, I get that now. All right, why ABU? all right, AD remains top in varsity ratings by... Okay, somebody made that conversation right there. Last thing you might want to go see why AD remains top in varsity ratings already. Okay, so we're moving away from that one now. And where else are we going to? I've got some punchy lines, and so the Punch newspaper just came right in. Welcome aboard. Now let's see this one, a big story. Crude price hike. Dangote alleges IOC's frustrating refinery. Page 31 has got that story. One writer to it. Dangote accuses NMDPRA of granting licenses to operators to import dirty fuel. Right. Okay, federal government to punish supervisors approving salaries for jackpot workers. All right, page 8. It's got that story now. Christ Embassy, Lagos Mills demolition. Oyakilome promises bigger church. Can you beat that now? Pages 4 and 5 has got that story. Okay, still at the base of the Punch newspaper. Naira sells 1,485 Naira to a dollar as official forex market records $23 billion. All right, page 32 has got that story. Just to the side of the Punch newspaper now, banner, you would find this one. NNPC shifts $700 million gas pipeline delivery date to August. Page 32. Okay, looking popular if you ask me now. To another page 32, I told you. Nigerians borrow 3.9 trillion naira as economic crisis bites harder. Alrighty. To page 2 now. Cholera outbreak. 22 states get kits as Lagos cases hits 500. Whew, that's a lot. I tell you. All right, now to this very one. It's going to be the last one that I'll be taking with the Punch newspaper this morning. Food price hike worry operators amid 1.2 trillion naira agric budget. All right, page 21. It's got that story now. And now let's get on to the very last one. I'm talking about none other but the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. The big story now. How corruption added 15% cost to food bulk products importation. That's a report you might want to go see. Page 7 has got that story. How corruption added 15% cost to food bulk products importation. Right? Just last week we mentioned something about, that had to do with corruption issues and all of that. And yeah, you see that. You see how huge, how big on corruption that we have gone in this country, such that 15% cost of food bulk products importation is accrued to corruption. Corruption. Well, I'm not going to dwell on that. Let's just get on to page 18 now. Dangote accuses IOCs of planning to frustrate refinery. And now to page 11. No confirmed case of cholera in Osun. Government has got that to say. Well, retired Army general killed in Abuja. CP orders probe. Page 27 has got that story. And to this one now. ASUP cakes as federal government releases new scheme of service for HND holders. All right. Page 11 has got that story now. To page 30. 121.67 trillion naira public debt. SARAP asks inspection panel to hold World Bank to account. Oh, hold World Bank to account now. I see. And the LEA busts snake-guarded shrine used to store illicit drugs. Arrests 2 in Edo. Okay, it's got one writer to it. Nabs 76-year-old grandfather in Abuja. Page 2 has got that story. Now, you're going to blame that one now on the hardship as well? Grandpa, 76 years old? You think you should know better? But I'm afraid it doesn't seem to know better. Now, this is going to be, is it going to be the last? No, it's not going to be the last. Tinubu orders sanctions on civil servants drawing salaries after relocating abroad. Okay, I'll say a yay to that one. Page 3 has got that story. Now, we've moved away from the base of the Nigerian Tribune. Let's take you to the top, But you won't be lonely at the top because I'm here with you. So let's get on to the top right there. Climbing the ladder of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper front page. The story and analysis, actually. Page 6. Why banks' huge profits outspace GDP growth in same economy. All right, that's an analysis you might want to go see. Now let's take you to page 23. 50 federal lawmakers write Tinubu seek Kanu's release. Want invocation of Section 174. All right, that's the writer to that big story. And the final one that I'm bringing to you, FAAN begins raid of touts across airports today. Yay, I like it. Page 27 has got that